Week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. To the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right to the air goes Nix. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick. And the Panthers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Looking to put a drive together.
Let's go now. Ready, nice.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now they go screen. It's complete. Down the left sideline. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of place, and then there's a lot of room to maneuver for your running back.
That's because all the defenders, or I should say the bulk of the defenders, were chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake. Got the screen out there, turned into a large gain.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. On the ground, it's a rookie from Tennessee. Now he's able to break to one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Hey, check that. Here we go. Set. Ready.
They'll try again. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Oh, wide open, complete. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 46 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Irving is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal.
Ready.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. This defense for the Buccaneers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Come on, come on. Hey.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. And that seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is, so to him it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
Touchdown, Carolina! A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Carlson on for the PAT. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Oh, my set.
They'll go play action with Mills. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So from Panther territory now, it's first and 10 at the 27. On the ground, this is Devon Chin. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. The Bucs at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Room here to run. Down the sideline he goes. Racing to the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Panthers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good.
Panthers 19, Buccaneers 7. Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Here's Nix. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this first half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward and then pick up a first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. You look at this Carolina defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
That's caught. Emeka Buka. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
28-yard line.
Bombers. Oh, my son!
Back to the air with Nix. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on the heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
A shotgun handoff here to Irvin. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Derek Brown coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Nix to the air. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Matthew Wright on for the field goal. A 39-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So the 3 points there, CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, set. Like it, 70,
Right back to him on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Ledge fighting, and he lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Following the fumble recovery, Nix. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ready.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. 2nd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now. This is caught by McMillan. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Cougar 19.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's got one. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 137 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside,
which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Get it! Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Cowboy
Now
80.
they'll audible to something else.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
60 Eagles, 60 go.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Elijah Cansey in on the stop.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped immediately there. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Cowboy 80. Viking 18. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Let go. Get up.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
70. 70 Lions. 60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats. Cup 19. Cup 19. Ready.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's to his running back, complete. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they were trying to get him a football in space as they did right there.
No, ready. Panther 60. Hey, smash. Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Ready up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Three tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. They'll throw now on the final play. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
60 vices, 60 vices.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. 161 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here we go. Ready, ready, hut, ready.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw. He'll find McMillan here. Call it a gain of a yard. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Ready.
They'll try and run. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. There he goes, right side. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 2.
Score Panthers 19. Buccaneers 17.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Boy, 175 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
They'll look to throw here. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 3rd and 4. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he is going to have the Panthers first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, he got 4 on 3rd down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6.
Here we go. Kevin's hot.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Lynch. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Come on, set! Ready, hop, 70, hop, set, ready.
Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Hands it off out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Ready, set up, 60 Eagles, 6,
and they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are able to add on to that lead. Oh, my goodness. How about this start to a season? I mean, it doesn't get much better. 2 touchdowns, remember, last week in the opener. 3 more here. This is some kind of pace to put yourself on.
Are we going to go ahead and look ahead and say 4 next week? Is that too much to ask for? That's what he's dreaming about right now. That's what his team's thinking about. But boy, what a start for him.
And he finds his way into the end zone as the lead moves to 10. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. To throw, here's Nix. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Captain.
To throw is Nix. Over the middle, complete. It's Moore. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection.
Middle. Ready.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Oh, my son. Ready. Bombers. Away.
Throwing Nix. To the left side, it's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. Now it's 2nd and 10.
Captain. Oh, my son. Ready. Behind.
Now it's Nix. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Bombers.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 12-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Ready.
Operating from the gun, Nix. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Nix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lynch. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3 and out.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll look to throw.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go, set. Hot 70, hot, rig. Set up. Let go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. Straight ahead with Hubbard.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
So with your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
Get it! 60 vices, 60 vices. Let go! Ready?
A give running right. It's Hubbard. And they'll get him down right around the 16.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
Ready? Cowboy!
Trying to take this home. They'll run. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A 31-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
And they're on 35-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
Oh my son! Ole, ole!
Throwing to start the drive. Nix. Oh, he's got a buca. That's complete. They need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute. 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They'll go play action with Nix. Looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
A little more than 40 seconds to play. Now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 38-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Show. Oh my son!
Off the play fake. Nix. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Panthers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, the field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Inside the 20. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Here we go. 1st and goal.
Oh, my son! Ready? Bombers, bombers, bombers.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown. But probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
The extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So 15 ticks remaining as they line up for the onside kick. And the Panthers are going to recover here, and that should be enough to get them the victory. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready? Here we go.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. Past the 20. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Buccaneers, 27.
The touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Away, away, away. Away. Oh, my son. Ready. Captain. Show.
Here's Nix. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home.